What does school teach you about money? That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. I knew that. Most people know that. We know the banking system's corrupt, politics is corrupt, the academic system's so corrupt. The pieces of the puzzle and my life started to come together. You'll never get this on CNBC. The way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is never teach them what the rich know. What the rich teach their kids about money, the poor and middle class do not. I was on CNN calling the crash of 2008. I said, Lehman's going down. You can check it out. I said to Wolf Blitzer, Lehman's going down. And he got kind of flustered because they're not allowed to say stuff like that. They don't want what we know out there. So that's why fake is fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. That's why we're talking. This is what's really going on. But our school system will never tell us that because they're part of the process. Fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. They're all one scenario.
You said the primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage fear.
First of all, let's go back to what is financial education? It's not get a job, work hard, save money, and invest in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. That's not it. Money is, the financial industry is two things, debt and taxes. And that's where fake starts. 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, and the US dollar became debt. And we still tell kids to go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, and get out of debt. Who tells them to do that? That's the most ridiculous thing there is.
Lie number one, saving money will make you rich.
Yeah, it never will.
We're all taught that as kids.
Yeah, because they can print it. Why would you save it and why would you work for it if they can print it as faster than you can work for it? And number two is they keep dropping the interest rates on it. Japan still has zero interest rate policy. And the Japanese are the biggest savers in the world. And I'm Japanese, I'm fourth generation. They're not too bright. Why do you keep saving when they're printing it? And that's what I mean by fear. So what happens to the average person in a financial crash, they don't know what to do. And right now, as you know, for the middle class of the world, we're in a crash. The purchasing power of the yen, the euro, the rupiah, all going down. And people are working harder and harder and harder, and the central banks of the world are printing more money. Interest rates, Trump just told the Fed, don't you raise those interest rates. Well, that screws all the savers.
And so if someone's listening to us that's stuck in that poor middle class trap and they hear it's their fear that ultimately is keeping them from that, that's a hard thing to hear, Robert. But you're going to give them the information about what they can do if they can get out of that fear.
Just watch where the cash is flowing. Follow the money.
So what you're saving and hoping that it'll be worth something one day is at the whim of the government to just print more and make it obsolete.
If you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad's lesson number one, the rich don't work for money. Don't you touch that stuff. You're not making any money, but they're sucking the fees out every day.
And most poor people confuse assets for liabilities. They think their home is an asset, it's actually a liability.
An asset is a noun, like a house. Cash flow is a verb. So to understand if it's an asset or liability, it takes a noun plus verb. So if the cash is flowing out of your pocket, it's a liability. If the cash is flowing into your pocket, asset, verb, it's an asset.
The other thing the poor don't understand is the number one expense for most people is taxes. And yet we don't even see it. Isn't that weird? You walk around and you look at the paycheck and say, that doesn't seem right. And you don't realize that the government's got a huge hand in your pocket and you are doing nothing to minimize that.
See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for $20, that's portfolio income, capital gains. But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. That's all these guys are screaming right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's three kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets. And so the average schmo out there, a poor guy, sent the kid to school. They don't learn this.
What do you say to people when they come up to you and say, Robert, it's not fair. It's not fair they're not paying taxes?
Well, there's always three sides to a coin, heads, tails, and the edge. So which side of the coin are you on? From my side, it's fair. But this is the difference. Everybody can do the same thing I do, because the tax laws are for everybody to use if you have the right financial education. And my rich dad taught me that playing Monopoly. That's how it started. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Or the McDonald's formula. McDonald's is in the real estate business, so they sell hamburgers, but they buy real estate, so they pay no taxes. This guy Bezos, he's $16 billion. How much tax did they pay on that $16 billion? 0.
And that's all legal. Anyone can do it.
Everybody can do it.
But most people lack the education. This is the law. The law is true for every citizen. You can do it, but most people just don't do it. Sometimes, like you said, they don't have the education. But you need to have a plan if you're going to go do risky things.
Well, it's not risky. To me, what's risky is having a job and paying taxes and saving money because they're printing it. That's the worst thing of all. And that's why there's fake money, fake teachers, because the teachers they don't know it. And fake assets, because Wall Street or the City of London or Lehman Brothers or Goldman and all, they're not going to tell you this.